I think the leadership of the DND will testify that you can have the most modern equipment, you can have the most disciplined military, but tao pa rin sila. And it would show that those who treat their military men with humanity, those who see their family, those who know that their family is secure, those who have time for R&R, for arts and culture, are a better fighting force rather than those who are basically culture or arts or family starved, Your Honor. So the point, Your Honor, I'm driving at is that I think even with the present budget, we can give them a meager amount, maybe for 1 or 2 camps, and maybe some LGUs or senators or congressmen will pitch in, and we'd probably have a duplication of this all over the country. But we have to have one that starts. So well, I just like to push for that, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. President, at this stage, we will find, personally, the committee will find difficulty in realigning portions of the budget for recreational facilities, given the very limited fiscal space. Maybe for the budget of 2013, we can look at that proposal, but unfortunately, the budget for the DND for 2012 has already been set, and it is extremely difficult for us to realign portions of the budget for recreational facilities because of the many needs of the armed forces at this point.
Your Honor, I agree with you, and I'm not trying to put the Senate on the spot by saying dagdag kasi saan kukunin. What I'm saying is that by bringing out these ideas, maybe from the present budget, the leadership could see that maybe 50 million here or 10 million there or 100 million there that was supposed to be for this or that would be put to better use if your 100,000 fighting men and women were of higher morale. So I even leave it to them na tignan nila ulit yung budget nila. Of course, kulang yung pang-uniforme, kulang yung pang sweldo, kulang yung pang armas and everything. But maybe you can do it one less whatever you plan to purchase this year and have a good country club in one of the camps that would start it. Anyway, Your Honor, I'm throwing this idea to the Secretary of DND and to put his more creative men and women to look at all of this. No? But studies will show that it's not only hindi lang yung bala at barel at yung training na binibigay, but the morale of the men will determine the quality of the military. Your Honor, can I go to the hospitals of this is something that was brought out in our hearings on Pabaon, no? And one of the reasons given why military commanders in the field needed money, isipin niyo po yung iba daw na i-injure, dadalhin sa ospital, hindi tatanggapin ng ospital. But I was talking to Senator Honasan, and there's a difference between Viluna veterans and the hospital in Fort Bonifacio. I think these hospitals should be specialized hospitals, meaning may sakit na grabe at kailangan ilipat, diyan ililipat. So let me separate my questions for those who are injured in the area of operation and specialized hospital. May I ask, is there a budget for additional equipment for these hospitals? For example, does any of these hospital have a MRI or a CT scan?
Yes, in the Veterans Hospital, Mr. President.
They have an MRI?
Yes, Your Honor.
But Viluna and Fort Bonifacio does not have. Oh.
MRI?
Let me not ask specifics, Mr. Chair. Let me just say this. Will we agree that in terms of equipment, lamang na lamang yung ibang hospitals dun sa 3 military hospitals natin?
Well, private hospitals lamang
Yes.
talaga.
Opo.
Yes.
Well, even PGHO halimbawa.
Well, yes. In terms of equipment, yes.
Kasi po, yung iba nating hospitals nag-semi-private, lung center, heart center, kidney. So, right now, grabe yung ganda ng mga equipment nila. That's why even yung may pera, yung ibang nagpapa-bypass, hindi na nagmamakati Med or St. Luke's, nag-heart center dahil maganda eh. So, my point, Your Honor, is again, to ask whether we should be putting more money here. So if we cannot increase their pay, but they have an assurance na pag may nangyari sa kanila o pamilya nila, may pupuntahan. But the second part of my question, Your Honor, is that I don't know if this should be done through the cabinet member, just through talks with the DOH. Hindi po ba pwede na merong parang voucher or merong parang agreement with all private hospitals in the country na pag place of operation ng ating militar ay hindi na sila hihingi ng deposit. Basta't gamutin muna nila bago silang humingi. No?
Well, there are existing memorandum of agreements with private hospitals so that our soldiers needing hospitalization, especially those in combat, could immediately be attended to in this private
I'm happy to hear that because that's something new, I guess, or maybe it's implementation because during the hearings, yun ang complaint ng ibang retired na nandito and sabi na hindi nangyayari yun. Or, kung hindi man hingyan deposit, yung gamot kailangan mong bilhin. So, for example, nasa loob ng ospital, kailangan ni x-ray o kailangan ng dextrose, nasa loob siya ng kwarto, okay.
Yes.
Pero, hindi siya bibigyan ng dextrose o hindi siya i-MRI kung wala yung pera doon. And the commander cannot all get that money right away. But if there's a way that the military can guarantee that anyway, no? Your Honor, is there an insurance policy for members of the military?
Is there an insurance policy?
And if yes, how much is every member insured?
Huh? There is a group insurance under the Mutual Benefit Association Incorporated.
And for someone killed in action, how much would the family get for death benefit? 100,000? Did I hear 100,000?
How much? About 200 to 300,000, depending on the rank.
Okay. So if their basic pay is about 14,000 is about, in 1 year, that's 140, about
2 years.
160,000. So it's
What, 2 years?
maybe a year's pay.
No. About anywhere from 200 to 300,000.
Yeah.
So that's about a year and a half to 2 years
Okay.
pay.
I bring this up because the city of Taguig was a beneficiary of the civic work of the U.S. Marines, no? And we sponsored the dinner, and I was invited, and I met a U.S. General, and I was asking him about how the U.S. military takes care of their men. And he told me that they just increased the insurance from $200,000 to $400,000 per military man. Of course, the U.S. is the U.S. and they have the money. But he was saying, but insurance is much cheaper than the than the government giving the benefit. And insurance, you simply pay the premiums, and the bigger the group that you're going to insure, the cheaper it is. So I just wanted to say that I'm happy that they do have insurance, and maybe GSIS would be willing to do this because usually kung 150 lang naman ang namamatay out of 100,000 plus, that's pretty good business for an insurance company. No? Hindi ko nilalang yung 100. I'm saying in terms of an insurance company, the GSIS should probably work on something like that. Imagine if we can give them 500,000 or $1 million from the insurance. It'll be less burden on the government and better help for those who are injured. No? Anyway, Your Honor, lastly, Your Honor, I'd just like to confirm an agreement that we had with the DND and the PVAW. I met the good secretary and he introduced me to the people in charge last year. There is a continuing controversy about libingan ng bayani in the city of Taguig. Because for years, they don't have enough money to develop it, so marami pong mga miyembro ng militar na doon nakatira. Hindi admit nung iba, but marami na nakatira doon ay militar din. Because usually, pag nagre-retire yung ibang taga-task force bantay, ay doon din pumupunta yung iba, no? And we made a computation here. And we saw that even in the next 100 years, hindi mapupuno yung libingan ng bayani. So we approached them and said that, you know, if you're going to take a hard stand and say that you need all the land, hindi nyo rin madidevelop at hindi nyo rin mababantayan at may udhalo tayo. Pero kami, kung may insist naman kami na proklamahan ng presidente ang lahat ng lupa, because President GMA ay prinoklama niya to, kaya lang Indian giver siya, binigay niya tapos binawi niya, or hindi nilabas yung signed proclamation, but I was there physically and I heard her say, matulog kayo na mahimbing dahil sa inyo na ang lupa. No? But then she did not come out with the proclamation. I just like to confirm that our agreement then was that they have some urban planners now, and we will ask the city urban planners to take a look, and we will sit down and find out what is the best for everyone. No, how we can help the soldiers who are there, and how. But in the meantime, we should all be careful. No, so we will not necessarily force the military to give that land to us or to the people, but the military will not also forcibly evict those who are legitimately there. Can I just confirm this, Your Honor, because there's a lot of tension again in the area.